and if you can relate to that, give me a what? Yes. Whether you're on the online audience or in the building right now, we can relate to that story of the world giving you things that aren't so fun, about someone betraying you or doing something to you, or you being disappointed or disillusioned, or giving you the start that you have to then figure out what to do with it. And so we have our very, very, very first student testify tonight. So give it up for Diego. He is going to talk a little bit about what that guy talked about, which is life's going to give you some stuff. And it might give you a lot of stuff that isn't so great. But that's not the end of the story. And you have victory. All you have to do is grab it. And so tonight we get to hear from Diego and maybe a surprise guest from his brother Hugo. But for now, Diego, can you give us your Testify story?
Okay, first thing I want to say is holding this mic right now is so nerve-wracking, and it feels like 1,000 pounds right now. And I just want to congratulate Chris, because she does this every single week, and I don't know how she can do this. So, congratulate Chris. But, so what I'm talking about tonight is just peace. Or not peace, patience, yeah. A lot of things can happen in a couple years or half a year, maybe even 6 weeks, because, COVID happened then. First thing I just want to say, in the Bible, it says something where a guy, he loses his wife, his daughters and sons, his house, all his cattle and stuff like that. And even though he goes through that stuff, he still trusts in God. And, the devil tried to just knock him off his balance, and, he still persevered. So just want to relate to that, and, just share some of my life with you guys. The first thing that happened was in 2017. I was 11 years old, and I lost my dad. He went to jail for something, I don't really know details, but I didn't see him for 3 months. I didn't really know what was going on until he called me from his hometown in El Salvador. It's in South America, which is kind of far away from where I live, I didn't see him for a half a year, and in that half year, I was bouncing around with my family members. My siblings was split up. I didn't see them in a while. My mom was with 2 boyfriends in the past half that year, and one of them used to hit her, and I just couldn't bear to see my mom bruised all over her body. And as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old kid, I learned to try to laugh, joke around with that kind of stuff. Even though, it's serious, I just, if you guys know me, I'm a kind of goofy dude. I try to make the funniest stuff out of every moment I try to get. And, the devil just wants me to have a bad time. And that's not how I really want to see it. And after I was split up with my siblings, I went back with my mom because I didn't want to do summer school. I don't really like school. During that time, I got poison ivy down my legs. It was horrible. I hated it. I had to take medicine, oatmeal baths. I don't know, that stuff kind of sucked. And then we were at my aunt's house one night, and you can play the video. Okay. Sorry.
Diego. Yes? Did you already say your prayer? Did you say your prayer? Okay, put your head down, say your prayer. Okay, I need you to say another one, please. I need you to say another one, please. Please.
was kind of slow, so sorry about that. But when I saw my dad, I was completely in shock, and I didn't know if it was real or not. And it was the best night of my life because I haven't seen him in a while, a long time actually. Might have felt like 10,000 years, but it was only half a year. But still. But then on, it was me, my siblings, and my dad. From then, half a year goes by. My dad starts talking to a woman, and then that's a different story. But you just,
It always is, Diego. It always is.
When we moved to Texas, we decided it was too hot, so we came down here where it was colder. And we were living in Woodland, and we were in this apartment with my dad's cousin. And it was okay after we got to know each other. A couple months go by. They just, we're a big family, and it was time for us to, try to get our own place. And, I didn't know about God until a couple months ago, but he had a plan for me even though I didn't know him. He put me right next to this church, living like up there at the apartments. And I didn't know after a couple weeks, then some of the apartment kids told me there's a basketball hoop by the church. It was Nathan, yes, it was Nate Montez. And he invited us to go basketball, play basketball or bum, something like that. And Chris and Joe was there to play with us. And Chris invited Hugo and I to come down to the youth group. And that night she texted me, so glad you were here. Come next week for more fun and awesomeness. And so I came, and the more and more I came, I found God, and you guys here, you guys just became my family. One big family, And I'm so thankful, you guys. I'm seriously, I'm so thankful for you guys. Each and every single one of you guys. And yeah. And then I just started finding God, and basically throughout the years, you want to be patient. Try to find the patience in your life. And it's not hard, but if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. Give it up for Diego. Okay, so first of all, Diego, we have a hashtag here called Claiming a Corner, and this is everything we mean by it, that we are going to come here, and all those people that God is screaming your name to are going to come down here and meet him, and we're honored to play a part in your story. I told my leaders today that you are going to watch history. It will be the first time Diego takes the mic at North Creek Church, because it's not the last time. All right, so Diego, first of all, for you guys to know, this Testify series has a lot of people, a lot of weeks to it, but today was always empty. And it was one of the first weeks. And normally I'd be nervous if one of the first weeks was empty, but I just knew someone was going to step up. And Diego came to me last Thursday and said, I want to do a Testify. And I said, awesome. What are you going to say? And he said, I want people to know that even when life is horrible, that you have the final victory. And so, Diego, can you just talk a little bit more about that, about why you think we have the final victory even when life is kind of bad?
When I was going through all those bad things, I took the time and I just said to myself, I don't really want to live like this. And at that point, I did not know God, at all. I used to go with my parents as a little one, but I didn't pay attention. I just came there for the games. But as time progressed, I went more through and bad stuff, like horrible things that you guys wouldn't want to go through. And then just all of a sudden, the greatest thing can happen in your life that you wouldn't even know just happened. Like, it was a miracle. And, through that time, you just gotta keep your cool, try to be happy, like joke like I do. Not saying try to be me, but try to find the humor in the situations that are bad.
Yeah, that's what Diego means by have patience, is know that even when life isn't great, that there's a different story being written and you just don't know what chapter you're on. And so every week we ask the speaker the same 3 questions. So we're going to do that right now, Diego. What did you learn about God through your story?
That God has a plan for each and every single person here. Even on the online people, like, even though you're not here to see and know, God can do amazing things in your life.
Is there anything you learned about yourself through your story?
I love to play the drums. Even though I'm not very good at it, I just love to bang stuff, try to make beats. In school, I was a pencil addict. And I used to pencil tap in class, and my teachers hated it, but I had like addiction to just boom, boom.
Yes, drummers tap all the time. It's a true story.
It was 2 weeks ago when I signed the form for the worship team, and I had a feeling that God told me to come do this.
That's weird. I have the same feeling.
So I signed up for that, and then I think it's next week that I start practicing. So.
Yeah, we're pausing for you to burst into applause for that sentence. Okay, so you've kind of already said it, but if you want to leave us with one more thing, what's one thing you want us to get from your Testify?
Just find the peace, guys. I know it can be hard through people trying to make you do bad things, and just, I guess it's just kind of hard being lonely, sad, but you can do it. I can do it. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it.
Awesome. So I'm going to leave you with a couple verses. We don't want to just use our own words. We want to use God's words to make this all happen. And then we do get to hear from Hugo. So there's 2 verses for today that kind of talk about what Diego's explaining. The first one is Romans 8:28. It will come up on your screen. But it says, we know that God works all things together for good for the ones who love God, for those who are called according to his purpose. And that verse sometimes gets misapplied and mistranslated into nothing bad happens if you love Jesus. That's not true ever. It's just saying that what does happen in this world, God will make it into something good to anyone who's following him. That he will take your worst moment of your life and turn it into something powerful for you and other people if you stay connected to him. Otherwise, it's just wasted. And you're already starting to see that happen in your life, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so second verse is 1 Peter 5:10. It said, after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace, the one who called you into his eternal glory in Jesus, will himself, and I want you to get these words, will himself restore you, empower you, strengthen you, and establish you. So when Diego's saying, when life's really bad, you're not actually as unstable as you feel. You are established and settled and empowered and strengthened because of what God's doing in your life behind the scenes. So, Diego, it's an honor to be your youth pastor, and it's an honor that someday you'll be my pastor.
It's an honor to be your student.
Okay, as if we couldn't already top that. When Hugo heard that Diego was going to speak tonight, he said, I have some stuff I want to add. And so he's going to come up here. He's going to actually take my seat because he needs to stay on camera because we want the online audience to get everything that he's about to say. So give it up for Hugo.
How's everyone doing tonight? So I can't top as what Diego said, but as he said that it's been hard. A mom who didn't put much time into us, and a dad who wasn't here for half our lives, and it was a hard time. But that progression from moving far ways to here was worth it, because I want to talk about how this church changed everything for me. One day, yes, as Diego said, we came to here, and then Chris, the loved and beloved, she invited us here, and I just thought, God, why me? There's over 3 billion people in this world, but you picked me. Hey, don't correct me. But you picked to put so many great people in my life. As Chris, she changed so much for me, and I don't know how to repay her.
You are right now.
I'm sorry, I'm crying too much. But I talked to God. I've been trying to get into God more. I have family problems at home, and it's hard for me. But I have so many great people here who support me in every way. And I can't thank them enough for it.
We sing a song here called This Is How I Fight My Battles, and this kid is fighting his battles the right way. He showed me a calendar today. It's a 40-day prayer calendar, and every day he's prayed has an X on it. And the leader didn't ask him to do that. He didn't get that from a Devo. He just said, I want to lean into what God has for me, because God has the final victory, no matter what has happened in my life. And if you were worried about topping your brother's stories time, you don't need to worry about that, okay? We're so proud of both of you. So, do you think you can hang up here over by your brother for the Q&A time? Okay, awesome. Very cool. Okay, so even if you're on the online audience, you can be a part of our Q&A time, because you can just type it in, and we have someone here who's ready to ask it on your behalf. And if you're not online, if you're in the building right now, Megan has the roaming microphone. You can just get a hold of her attention, and we can ask Diego and Hugo some things. Now, since we are live streaming, just don't use last names of anyone, okay? What do you guys want to know about their journey, how they got there, and what they loved and what they regretted, and anything that you want to know about their testimony?
Don't be shy. Ask them more.
What sort of helped you to know, like, that God was there? Like, what made you have faith that he was there and he had a plan for you?
See, like, I didn't know who God was until, like, a couple months ago, but I had a feeling that there was something that just came out of nowhere, and, you know, something will definitely happen that good, or something will happen good in your life. It's just, you just have to wait for it.
So, I know Diego got saved like a little bit ago. When did you get saved, Hugo?
That just means, like, when did you fully accept Jesus and follow him?
When I got saved was basically when I came here more. I started realizing that I should lean more into God instead of the bad things in life. And I now understand that's the best choice I could ever chosen.
Also, guess who else turned in a work student application for the keyboard? That guy.
Don't forget the audio.
All right, wave your hands real high, and Megan will come over.
Diego, what do you do? Like, what's the best thing you turn to with God, whether that's like prayer, worship, or whatever? Like, what does that look like for you when you need to be reminded, like, hey, even if this sucks right now, God's got this?
So for the online audience, the question is, what does he do to lean into God to hear from him more since he started?
Not too long ago, I started trying to read the entire Bible. And I'm just reading that, just try to get my mind focused on different things, besides then, like, all the fighting and, like, the stressfulness in our house.
And if you're a drummer, music will be a powerful tool for you too.
Yeah, music too.
All right, one more question. What do we got for you or Diego?
You guys really seem to be diving in what God has in your life ever since you started coming here. And I can see that it's really hectic at your house. How do you find the time and stay focused on what God has for you when you're at home?
So in the chaos of your life, how do you stay focused on God when there's so much else pulling on you and so many other messages being given to you about your life and your future?
Well, it's just was one urge that you're not for sure, but it's like your gut. You're just telling you where to go. Then I'm just lucky enough that I ended up here, and there's no other place I would rather be.
That's the Holy Spirit in you.
I kind of had a brain fart, but I think what I was going to try to say was that the urge that he comes to you for, or he puts in you, it's like an urge to go outside, or an urge to go eat some food, an urge to go to sleep, or an urge to go play video games, I mean, for all my gamers out there.
6 hours each day.
Not true. But yeah, just that urge the devil can put an urge in you, or the Holy Spirit can put an urge to you. It's just whether or not you choose which urge to take.
And just like a normal person, the more you spend time with someone, the more you recognize their voice. And so the stronger God's voice gets, the more you hang out with him. And then it's less confusing, and you can follow him a lot easier the more you do it. So if you're on the online audience, we are going to say goodbye real quick. We are going to move into some small group time and worship time. You can feel free, once you log off, to go ahead and click on our worship set. We want worship to be part of what you're doing on Thursday nights also. And you can soap those verses or anything else that you want to do to connect the message to you. If you want to FaceTime in with your small group, that's awesome too. We have a bunch of kids doing that, and it's super fun. They're even part of our worship time. And so we're going to say goodbye to our online audience, but we will see you back hopefully sometime tonight on a phone screen. If you're in the building, we're going to go into a small group time where we can just begin to apply what Diego and Hugo are talking about to our own life, no matter what background we have. The message of who God is the same for all of us. So with a really big round of applause, can we please give it up for Hugo and Diego? All right, I'm gonna grab a picture of them. You guys are gonna head to small groups. We will come back to worship together. And so, if you have a question of where your small group meets, go ahead and flag a leader down, and they will let you know. And some girl groups are gonna combine tonight, so go ahead and follow your leader to your small group area.